Hello, this is a guide for the best method of obtaining the sailing pet soup. Jagex released the drop rates yesterday at the time of me making this video, and it turns out that port tasks are the best method to obtain the pet at around 45 to 55 hours with the best tasks. In this video, I will explain the best known port tasks to do and explain what to do if your port tasks reset, along with which plugins I use. So these are the drop rates released yesterday, and my friend Jamal was able to calculate how exactly the scaling works with port tasks and figure out what the drop rates are for these port tasks with this formula. And the reason this is important is because despite level 46 port tasks offering a rate of 1 in 4,662 for the pet, you will be able to do over 100 per hour, making it far better than any level 80 port task, even though those offer a better drop rate. The main plugin I use, and really the only plugin I use for this, is called Port Tasks. And what this lets you do is mark certain tasks on the board to help you quickly find them after resets, and also hides tasks you don't want like bounties or other courier tasks if you like. In addition, it provides a path from port to port you can follow and highlights the cargo at the ledger table. Before I get into the methods and routes, I want to quickly explain what board resetting is. Board resetting is pretty simple. After you do various port tasks enough times, tasks on the board will move around and potentially change. This doesn't always mean you have to change ports to find alternate tasks, but in a lot of cases it can. There is no confirmed way to know how often resets happen other than a game-wide board reset at midnight UTC time, which is 7 p.m. Eastern time for me. When a board reset happens, you want to prioritize checking ports based on best routes first, which I will get into now. Getting into the method. There are two main ports you want to use and two main tasks at each port you will want to mark and look out for. The first and best tasks are located at Aldarin. You are looking for Aldarin to Sunset Coast task and Sunset Coast to Aldarin task. There are three potential routes you will find yourself doing. The easiest and best route is the back and forth route. This is when you have both Aldarin to Sunset and Sunset to Aldarin on your board. You are able to travel back and forth between the two repeatedly without ever having to teleport your boat. A couple things to add that will apply to all of these is that I have Cabin Boy Jenkins on the helm and sail, so I never have to manually navigate the ship. This allows you to not have to waste time depositing cargo. I do recommend having as many crewmates assigned as possible so they can help with cargo as well. In addition, you will see in these clips I click away before unboarding, so the boat is pre-turned when I get back on it. This helps when you are doing back and forth tasks because the boat will only reset position when you teleport it to you. The second best route is Aldarin to Sunset. You start at Aldarin, and once you deliver the cargo to Sunset, I use my construction cape to teleport back to Aldarin and summon my boat as I run to the task board and repeat. The third best route is Sunset to Aldarin. This requires having a second boat with a greater teleport focus for efficiency. You can also choose to travel with Antonia north of the Aldarin board and lose some time. Once I take my task, I bring both boats to Sunset and take the cargo back to Aldarin. After grabbing the task from the board, I teleport to my boat at Sunset and summon my transportation boat, taking the cargo and repeating the cycle. There is a rare chance you will get two tasks going from Aldarin to Sunset in addition to your other Sunset to Aldarin task. This is pretty rare, but is worth looking out for as it is the best possible outcome. The route follows just as the regular back and forth route. The second best port combo to use is Relleka and Etceteria. This functions exactly the same as the Aldarin task methods, with one exception being both Relleka and Etceteria have a task board, so when task reset, it is important to check both boards. You will be looking for two tasks here, being Relleka to Etceteria and Etceteria to Relleka. There are again 3 potential variations you will be doing. The easiest route is the back and forth route, where you start at either Relleka or Etceteria, depending on where you pick up the tasks at. Requires no teleporting as you always end at the dock which has the task available. The second best route is Relleka to Etceteria. This is similar to the Aldarin to Sunset route, where you summon your boat to you, which requires a regular teleport focus. I actually use teleport to boat here, which is the greater teleport focus, but using Fremi Boots 4 works just as fine. The third route is Etceteria to Relleka. Similar to starting at Sunset, this requires having a second boat with a greater teleport focus in order to teleport back to Etceteria the fastest. If you don't have this, you could Spirit Tree from your player-owned house, which is slightly slower. Just like Aldarin, it is possible to get a double task from Etceteria to Relleka or Relleka to Etceteria while doing the back and forth task. It is worth it to look out for, but one thing that is different from the regular back and forth task is that you need to do 2 trips to the ledger table as shown. One final thing to mention is if you happen to not have either of the Aldarin and Sunset or Relleka and Etceteria tasks available, there are a few backup tasks you can do. Note that I only had this happen 2 or 3 times in a 7-hour span. From best to worst, I found that Relleka to Yatizo and potential back and forth Yatizo to Relleka task was the optimal backup. You also could get Relleka to Natiznot or Etceteria to Natiznot, and finally Artie to Catherby with the potential back and forth Catherby to Artie. With these methods, you should expect around 50 to 60 hours to be on rate for pet. If you were able to only do Aldarin tasks the entire time and never have board resets, it would be around 45 hours to pet, but as of making this, there is no known way to avoid board resets. I want to give another shout out to Jamal, aka Cave Horror, who helped me with some of the info in the video, and I hope this guide helped. If I missed something, let me know in the comments, and see ya.